Welcome, Xbox players. Did you make it past the 6-hour queue? Good. Welcome to DCUO. Now let's fucking play. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. I'm gonna go ahead and explain everything I know about atomic tanking, alright? So get ready and listen up so you can be the best atomic tank in DCUO. Let's go ahead and take a look at the power trees. First off, in radioactive, we're gonna choose irradiate, proton remedy, and energize. Proton remedy being the most important one of all. In the nuclear tree, you're gonna choose fracture, thermochemical explosion, nuclear burst. It's really just so you can get down here to atom splitter. And particle beam, which is your single target taunt. Neutrino blast, which is your breakout and immunity, grants immunity for the group. And atomic reorganization, which is basically your cone pool. So this is gonna be your 360 pool. This is gonna be your cone pool. This is your single target taunt. You do have a ranged move within the loadout, but I choose to run the two melee moves and switch between them so that I can keep the aura going and maximum healing going on. And as a secondary supercharge, I like to use mass density, which is the one that I'm using in my loadout right now. I only do that because, you know, as you can see, some of the power points are going to be left over, so you can play around with the loadout a little bit. Being it that you only really need like 3 powers if you're really good with atomic to tank something, right? In the iconic powers, I went ahead and chose nano weave armor, intimidating gaze, so for the 40 dominance, and then the 10% critical healing magnitude and 3% critical healing chance, so that I can get the most out of my heals, basically. And the loadout basically looks like this. Thermochemical explosion, right? Proton remedy, which is going to be your go-to. Atomic reorganization. Mass density, which can be swapped out with energize. Just depends on how you like to play and if you want to go ahead and activate a group shield every now and then. Atom splitter and neutrino blast. So this is your group breakout. This is your 360 pull, which also keeps your aura activated because it's an atomic combo, along with thermochemical explosion, and you're basically gonna bounce off of these 2 powers so that you can keep your aura going. Proton remedy, which is gonna be the go-to so that you can stay healed and heal yourself, and your atomic reorganization, which basically just lets your control adds a little bit better. You do have the 360 pull, and you can just run that in certain instances, but I prefer to have this in my loadout. I mean, if you're good enough, you really can just run with thermochemical explosion, atom splitter, and proton remedy. That's basically it. That's really all you need for atomic tanking. But everything else is like a little bonus, you know, so that you can basically swap out what you got in here depending on your playstyle, what you want to do. So you can have your single target taunt in here instead of the supercharge, which is particle beam. You know, if you don't want to run any of the supercharges and you want to have 2 breakouts, you can do that as well, because you'll have the power points left over. But that's up to you. That's basically the loadout right there. Let's go ahead and show you what these powers I'm actually capable of and what they do and how they look. Alright, so real quick so you can see how these powers look and interact. You have thermochemical explosion. Causes knockback, as you can see. You have proton remedy. It's a quick put your hands up in the air move, and it lets you gain life if your aura's on or if you're getting attacked. You have atomic reorganization, great pull, teleports them over to you. As you can see, when you use your powers, it activates your white mods, which that blue shield right there is the white mod in my weapon, which is absorption adapter. Weapons attacks and have a chance to activate a shield, reducing damage by 75% until damage equal to 25% of your health is prevented. This effect may only occur once every 60 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and explain all the white mods a little bit later on, what mods you should be using as well, how you should spec your power points and your skill points to have a hardy tank, you know what I mean? Especially with atomic tanking, you want to focus on dominance. So let's keep going through these powers. What's that one called again? Atom splitter. And finally we have neutrino blast, which is the breakout. It's pretty fast. It also activates your aura. So let me explain some of the things that you want to know with atomic tanking. Right, so when you get into the action, you really want to get the aura on as soon as possible, because that's what's going to activate the increased amount of healing from proton remedy. And the quickest way to get the aura on is basically, you can either start with powers 1 or 5, atom splitter or thermochemical explosion. So as you can see, both of these combos, both of these powers have double tap combos. Tap melee, see? Tap melee, tap melee. Now, one of the most important things with atomic tanking is activating the aura as quickly as possible. Now, there's a couple of ways to do that depending on the situation if you want to conserve power. The two main routes that you're going to take towards that is, like I said, depending on the situation, whether you want to break out or you want to gain some life. You're mostly going to want to gain some life, especially if you just enter combat. And you can do that through powers 1 and 5, which are thermochemical explosion and atom splitter, and then going into proton remedy or neutrino blast to activate the aura. Like I said, there's two ways to do it. If you want to just go ahead and conserve power, and you know you're not really taking that much damage, you can do it this way, which is basically pressing one of the powers 1 or 5, and then going into proton remedy 2 or neutrino blast, which is power number 6. I'll show you that now. So as you can tell, I went into thermochemical explosion. I pressed the melee combos, and on that third foot stomp right there, I clipped that animation with proton remedy, and that activated my aura. Now, to show you that again, but using a different power, I'll go ahead and use atom splitter. Tap melee twice and press neutrino blast to go ahead and activate the aura. As you can tell, that blue shield is activated from absorption adapter, which is a white home turf mod. So you don't necessarily have to be using your weapon to have those mods activated. Now, the quickest way, the actual quickest way to activate your aura is to use both powers, 1 and 5, which is thermochemical explosion and atom splitter. You're gonna use them. You're gonna let's say you were using thermochemical explosion to start off, right? Power number 1. You combo into it once, and in the second combo, what you're gonna do is you're gonna press power number 5, atom splitter, and clip that with either neutrino blast or proton remedy. So I'll show you that now. Like I said, depending on the situation, mostly you're gonna want to be healed. So how quick that was, that's the actual quickest way to go ahead and activate the aura. I'm going to go ahead and show you that again. I'm going to start off with atom splitter. I'm going to combo into it once. See, I'm just going to combo into it once. And in that first combo, I'm going to hit thermochemical explosion. And then I'm going to clip thermochemical explosion with proton remedy. Alright, so those are the two little steps right there. So I'm going to do that again, but this time I'm going to use thermochemical explosion, then atom splitter, then neutrino blast. Saw that? That's the quickest way to activate the aura. I'm gonna show you that one more time because it's real important and a lot of people ask me for this. Bear with me here if you already know how to do this. So here it goes one last time. And then I cag it. There you go. So you can get it. You can get the aura on basically, you know, those two routes, and then you have your pull and your supercharge, and that's the loadout right there. Cone pull is very good because it teleports them and it stuns them. If you gotta go backwards in a tunnel, you can clip, jump clip atomic reorganization, which is a great pull. Now once you have the aura on, for those of you tanking out there, once you have the aura on, right, you got to refresh it around every 7 to 8 seconds. So let's just keep it at 7 seconds. So every 7 seconds you need to pull one of these off. As long as you can get through one of those powers, you'll refresh the aura for another 7 seconds. I don't think it works that way for DPS, and I think you got to keep the combo actually going. But as long as you can get one of those combos off within the 7 seconds, you'll keep the aura up. See, that's the first way I showed you how to turn on the aura. Just pressing one of the combos and then going into like Proton Remedy, which conserves power because you're not, you know, clipping all those powers together. Now that we have mass density activated, it'd be a good time to show you some options that you can do with the loadout. So the one so that you could have the pull and the taunt, that's how you would run it right there. Particle beam. So if you need a cone pull, 360 pull, and the taunt, you could run it like that. If you are running without a healer or a troll, you can swap out energize for the cone pull, especially in an alert. And I don't know if I would keep this in there like that, but you know, this is a 25%er, and once you have this activated and you press Proton Remedy, the heals are insane. So this alone right here gives you a ton of survivability. So that's just another option right there. What else can I show you? Okay, so another thing that you can do as far as speccing, when you're speccing with your PowerPoints. Okay, so this is your secondary breakout, so you would need 2 points to get in there. So you bypass this energize, that'll give you 1 point. And you bypass this, that'll give you another point, and you get to put 2 breakouts on your loadout, which you would have Neutrino Blast and Unleash Antimatter, which gives you a little bit of a life boost, but it gives you 10% control resistance as well. So you got a boss that you're having a lot of problems with because he has a ton of CC and he's controlling the whole group. Well, you want 2 breakouts, you can go ahead and just run Unleash Antimatter and Neutrino Blast. That's another option. Quick little tip to remember about Energize: as soon as you activate it, the 25% supercharge, it activates the core glu-on aura. So that's another good thing to remember. Now, if you want to go ahead and run with a shield, and that's not the supercharge of the 50% mass density supercharge, which is a group shield, gives everybody a shield for a limited amount of time. But if you want to go ahead and run density, you can go ahead and do that. As you can see, you only need 1 additional power point, and you're only, really using either one of the 2 supercharges, either mass density or energize. So it just depends on how you want to go ahead and spec out and deflect damage basically. But density is a great shield to have also if you're not running the group shield. But I like running the group shield because I pug a lot, and sometimes when you see in the distance, somebody trying to pick up somebody within an AoE field, it's good to pop it then. And it only, the situation only comes up so often where you really need a shield. When you're tanking, you really shouldn't be picking anybody up anyways. So those are just some of the loadouts right there. And let's go ahead and just skim over the skill points. In acrobatics, I have it all the way down to the breakout mastery, so whenever I break out I can regenerate power. Just for those runs when you don't have a controller and you're just running 2 DPS and a heal. But it offers a control resistance and stun resistance. You can get it up to here if you want to. These last 3 right here just help you regen power back once you do break out. But if you want the resistance, you can spec out just up to here. And as far as weapons goes, this is one-handed right now, so I'll just go ahead and skim through everything right now. I have a weapon mastery with one-handed, as you can tell. I'm also speccing into the critical healing magnitudes. Nothing in the bow. Here's brawling. And I could spec right here. See those 3 restoration, 3 points I got? That wouldn't be a bad idea. Because it helps out your heals, even the ones that you give yourself. So dual pistols right here, basically opening up the bottom tier, specking the skill points. Defense, dom. Let's dual wield. Let's go to hand blasters real quick. This is how hand blasters are spec'd out. Nothing in martial arts. Here's rifle. Once again, specking out, not to open up weapon mastery, but to open up that bottom tier, so it gives you an additional skill point towards a stat, and go ahead and use it for dom or critical healing chance or magnitude. But once you get to that bottom tier, you want to go ahead and open up health and dominance. And if you have additional skill points, restoration is the way to go, if you already got all your tier 1 doms. This is the shield. Staff. And two-handed. Basically working on that tree right now. So that's how the skill points are spec'd out. You can go ahead and pause through that, so you can go ahead and take note of what you just saw. But let's go ahead and continue with the video. And of course, keep in mind that I'm explaining this as a tanky tank, because Atomic, as you can tell by the damage it's doing when I do the atomic combos and the aura turns on, it does a lot of damage as a tank. You could go ahead and make a hybrid spec, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave that for another video, because it's actually impressive how much damage the hybrid tank can do and how much damage it can take. So, but I'll leave that for another video. This is actually the real tanky build. A lot of health, a lot of dominance. When you spec out your skill points, you want to go ahead and prioritize dominance, health, and then resto with this build. As far as your mods go, you're gonna go with dominance and try to get all the affinity bonuses you can. You're gonna have to excuse the fact that I don't have a lot of mods right now on my equipment. But right here, you can go straight dominance, or you can go with dom and health. Just depends. I would just go with straight dominance there, because the 145 health really significant right now at this tier. So, and all the blues go with straight dominance, and the yellows go with yellow green, which is dom. I wish dom resto existed, but no, it's the yellow green one. Yeah, that's the one you're gonna choose. Same one here. Dominance here. Dominance here. Let me show you the white mods as well. Deadly block. I'm using breakout protection in my back. Quick healing should be here. in the chest mod, put in quick healing. I just got that chest piece, so I haven't modded it yet. Max damage in the hands, because I mean, why not? None else you can go ahead and use. But yeah, that's the loadout right there. That's basically what I use. It's pretty versatile and gives you options, gives you mobility. It has a lot of survivability. Just gotta practice getting that ore on as soon as possible, and you know, you'll be doing great in no time. You know, just also make sure that, you know, you keep just basic tanking, how should I put it? Tanking mechanics in mind too, you know. Keep the ads and the boss away from the group. Make sure their back is turned away from the group if possible, so that the bosses or the ads cone attacks don't affect the group. Things like that, you know. If you can pin them down, even better. Make sure you try to keep them in the same position whenever possible. Just good tanking mechanics go a long way as well when you're running high tier content. So shit was mesmerizing, huh? Alright. I hope y'all enjoyed the tanking video, y'all. Check out the channel for more stuff, and nothing. I'll see you in the next video, man. Take it easy. Jade out.